Hi, hope everybody's doing really well tonight. I'm Sandy Sandler, the creator of the Bowdabra, and I have Joette here with me. She's going to pop on and show you how to do an indoor outdoor door swag and a pumpkin swag. And I'm going to start by making a fall wreath. So let me go to the overhead camera and get started. So let's see if I can move this over here and go to my overhead camera. And here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my Bowdabra bow wire and um, and I'm going to fold my wire in half, lay this down into my Bowdabra and tuck the ends underneath so it stays out of my way. And then what I'm going to do is take my mesh. I'm going to go to the center of the mesh and I'm just folded it over a few times so that it will not have any fraying, so the fray doesn't show. And all I'm doing is just scrunching it down into my Bowdabra. Hello, Pat. And Pat, we usually see you on the replays. Thanks for joining us live tonight. And scrunch this down into the Bowdabra. And then what I'm going to do is take my tails and lay the tails going in here and lay this going down this way. And then I'm going to take my ribbon here and we're just going to twist it, scrunch it down, and fold and twist and fold and twist. And Joette will be here in just a few minutes after I finish this wreath. And we're going to have Joette is going to make a lantern swag and a not a lantern swag, a door swag and a pumpkin swag, which could be like a lantern swag, but she has a really pretty pumpkin that she's going to use. And I'm just going to fold this back over and fold and twist. And hi, Connie. Yeah, I'm so happy you made it. And Eileen, thank you everybody for commenting, saying hi. And now I'm going to take, now this is one of my favorite fall ribbons that we have on Bowdabra.com. It's let's see, I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to give everything a good scrunch. I love it when everybody can join us live, but if you are watching the replay, definitely comment and let me know that you're watching us on the replay. And we're going to fold it back over and twist and fold and twist and fold and twist. And for those of you just joining us, Joette will be on in just a minute and she's going to show us how to make a two-side door swag. And then I have an indoor outdoor door swag, I mean. And then we're just going to take my grape wreath, my grape pick, lay this down in here. I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire, bring it up and pull it. Whoops. Looks like I twisted this around here and pull this through my slip knot. Pull it tight while it's still in my Bowdabra. Pull it out. So this is a great way to make a wreath attachment. So we're going to put this on a grapevine wreath. And I'm just going to tie this off and knot it. And take my grapevine wreath. And I'm going to put it on here. And just bring this around. And I think I might not have made my wire as long as I wanted it, but we're just going to take this and I'm just twisting it so it'll be tight against my wreath. And I didn't make my wire long enough, but well, let's just pretend that I did. And you have this beautiful wreath attachment that's super, super simple to make. So now what I'm going to do is go over and we're going to go to Joette, and let's have Joette's going to show you how to make this a beautiful swag.
Well, hello everybody. This is going to be a pumpkin swag, but it also can serve as a lantern swag or a wreath attachment for a smaller wreath. But I've started out with a length of Bowdabra bow wire, and I'm going to fold it in half and place it down in the Bowdabra. And let's make sure you can see. And this is kind of a scrappy bow, but it's not. You can easily make this bow with scraps, but at the end we'll need a little bit longer piece. But I'm taking 2.5 inch wide wired ribbon and 1.5 inch wide wired ribbon. Just a piece strips. They're probably 9 inches and 8 inches. This blue one's a little bit shorter than the 1.5 inch wide. And I'm just layering them. I'm doing the You can crisscross them and start placing them down in so it's easier to fluff at the end. So just kind of find the center. I mark it with a scrunch. So if you can fold it and find the center like this, scrunch it, mark it with a scrunch, and then slide it down face up, right side up, down in the large Bowdabra. Also, I've pre-dovetailed all my ends. Make sure, I mean, you can usually eyeball the center, but just in case if you have trouble with that, fold it in half, mark it with the scrunch, and then place it down. Okay, I went ahead and made the bow first, which you could have done this on the swag. So now I'm finding my center. I'm going to place this down in the large Bowdabra. This is two-sided ribbon. So if it had been one-sided, I'd be worried about if it was in there right side up or upside down. So I'm just making a shoe bow. So I'm pulling each side over, giving a loop and a tail on each side. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the Bowdabra bow wire, pull it tight while it's still in the Bowdabra, pull it out, and I'm going to flip this bow over and tie it in a knot. And make sure it's tight. And then we can, well, I got it tight all right. I'm going to go ahead and clip one of these loose. There. So now I'm just going to separate each tail, fluff the loops, separate, separate, separate. So everything's showing, everything's got a place. So it looks like that. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and cut another length of Bowdabra bow wire. You could take this already and just tie it to the pumpkin, but I'm going to actually add some florals to it. Folding my wire in half, place it down in the Bowdabra, put those ends under, and I've got just some little bushes that I'm going to place down as my base. I've got some fall leaves, so I'm going to place one here, one. Let's see, go ahead and put this bush, this little orange bush. You can tuck that in through the other side so it doesn't show, the stem doesn't show, but leaving the stem on like that actually gives it a better foundation, makes it more hardy and easier to work with. So I've got a couple of berries, berry picks. I'm placing those down on one side, and then I got a wheat and some pampas grass. I'm gonna place those in on one side with the berries, and then I've got another pick, pampas grass pick. And then I have a little pumpkin pick that kind of matches the pumpkin. And I've got a little rose. So I think I'm gonna put the rose on the berry side. I want to leave enough room for my bow, so I need to keep a gap there. And I'm gonna put the berry picks on the other side. So one side can be my top and bottom, but on this it's kind of, it's about the same width, so it's probably not going to matter. Whatever looks good to your eyes once you put it together. So I'm taking my Bowdabra bow wire, pull the loose ends through the looped end, and keep pulling it tight. And then you want to separate your ends and bring them to the back. Try to pull them tight again. The tighter you get it, the easier, or the it's not going to fall apart, and less likely you're going to need hot glue. Got it tied in a knot. Fan out my greenery just a little bit, my foliage there. So now you see I have this beautiful swag. I could have pulled it in and not needed a bow, but I left that gap for a reason. Let me go ahead and cut these wires off. I don't need these wires, so I do need the next set. So I'm going to take my bow and fill in the gap. I'll move those pumpkins aside because I'm going to bring them up into the bow. So now I'm just going to tie this on. Again, keep it tight and tie a knot. You can double or triple the knot. So I want my pumpkins to show, so I need to bring them up into the center of the bow. So
You've
nothing's
got a bunch of
hiding. And
people
then,
saying hi to you. You have Pat, Eileen, Flortopia. Everybody's saying hi to you, Joette.
hi everybody, thanks for joining. I love Mondays because I get to, not every Monday, but I still get to watch if it's a replay or we're watching with Sandy on. All right, so I still get to see y'all and say hi. All right, so now I have this little door swag, or I could use it for a lantern swag, or I can use it for a wreath attachment. And I'm going to just attach it. This pumpkin kind of, the stem kind of curls. I've got to find a location that I can tie this on tight with where it won't slip around. And I'm just going to tie it in a shoe bow because if I want to use this next year, it's going to stay together. I'll just untie the shoe bow and I can hide the shoe bow into the pumpkin. So I kind of want the stem to show. I mean, it's going to show from behind. So I didn't hide much, but you end up with this beautiful little centerpiece or sit around or whatever you want to do. And again, you could put that on a lantern swag as well. But isn't that cute? I'm going to
Really
set this
pretty.
aside. So easy and it's really inexpensive to make. Okay. And I could keep fluffing and fluffing, but I gotta put blinders on. All right, so I'm gonna take another length of Bowdabra bow wire, bring back the Bowdabra, and I'm going to place that down in, and I've got something really cool that I can almost guarantee you we have never made one of these on Bowdabra before. So this is something I was inspired by, and I said, I gotta make that. Okay, get that Bowdabra bow wire down. So what I've done here is I've taken, this is about 3 yards of two different ribbons, 1.5 inch wide and 2.5 inch wide. I've folded it in half to mark my center, but I'm not going to put the center down. I'm going to find a little area somewhere around here. I want it to stick out a little bit. So let me explain what I'm doing. So if you, this is going to be an interior, exterior wreath, door wreath. So you'll be able to hang it over. This will be the inside or the outside, whichever. Your swag will be on this side and it'll be on the opposite side. So you just shut the door and you shut your swag in the door and you have a instant hanger, and it's also interior and exterior. So I want a little bit of the tail to stick out. So I'm going to go ahead and crunch this in. I've already dovetailed and I want to give that a little bit on top. So I'm just going to kind of move that out of my way. And I'm going to build my swag. So you decide now whether you want that to be the top or bottom. I'm going to make this my bottom so my little bit of tail sticks out, and hold that in a little bit. And I'm going to have this on top. Actually, I think I want the blue to show. So I'm going to put the blue here. And again, if you can see what I'm doing, you can weave that stem of the eucalyptus right through that fern and somewhere, there it goes. and it'll kind of hold it. It wedges it in, but it also, again, gives it a good foundation and holds it, gives it more stability. Now I'm gonna put that in, and then I have these little millets, little bush of millets. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I was able to get enough to make, not including the ribbon, but it was 50% off on falls. I went to the pick aisle, and I got, I think that was $14 when we could get all done here, other than the ribbon. It was $14 worth of florals. So I'm not using any stems. I'm using one bush. I think the bush I had on hand already. So let's say $15, $16 for this whole entire thing. I'm finding my center of my ribbon. This is about a yard and a half. I'm scrunch marking it with a scrunch. I'm placing it down in the Bowdabra upside down. I'm gonna go ahead and make a shoe bow. So a loop and one loop and one tail. I'm gonna get my loops the same length. This is a really pretty navy velvet. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good scrunch real quick because that velvet is really thick. And I'm not really stuffing the Bowdabra, but that ribbon just takes a lot of space. So I'm gonna do this again. If this was a two-sided ribbon, I would make sure that I had the dark side, the ugly side upside. I'd have it facing up, but this is the same on both sides, so I don't have to worry about which side I layer it on. I'm gonna go ahead and place this down. I'm making another shoe bow on top. And now I have one more, 1.5 inch wide. This is a real pretty ribbon. The gold on it just kind of accent it. So if it's outside or inside with the lights, it's going to reflect the lights and be sparkly. So I found the center, I marked it with a scrunch, and I'm just doing a shoe bow again. I'm just kind of moving my tails opposite of each other. And my loops kind of even. I've got one more. Normally we'd put a little bit of a button loop, but I'm going to take just a piece of this. I left off here, so I'm going to make my loop here. And this is going to be just a large button loop. And that tail is going to kind of hang down there with the others. So now I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire. I could have scrunched it again, but it feels like I got it pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to take my loose ends, pull them to the looped end. And now I can remove it. Keep pulling it tight and flip it over and tie it in a knot. Just if there's any more slack, you get it out right now and then tie your knot. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 knots in it and cut that excess off. And I'm going to give it a good little fluff. So this is going to be like 3 in the middle here of the same. I'm going to pull this over and pull my tails out. So this, and make sure my pumpkin shows. Tail over here. I don't want any mechanics showing at all. I am a stickler about that. I want to hide all my mechanics. Got my loops and everything straight. So this is what I have on one side. Now I'm going to follow this up to the other side. I'm going to I could have used some tape to hide that, to keep these together, but it's pretty stiff, so it's staying together on its own. So I want to match where I left off. So I'm going to flip this around. This is where I tied the last one. Get a kind of mark that, just
It's really
put a
pretty,
little bend
Joette.
in it. Thank you. This is a really cool idea. So I'm going to go ahead and cut another length of Bowdabra bow wire, fold it in half, and place it down in the Bowdabra there.
And just so everybody knows, I'm actually going to Australia. I'm so excited tomorrow. And Joette's going to do the lives for the next couple of weeks. So it'll be live on on Facebook, but Joette can't go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So definitely make sure that you watch us on Facebook, or we'll make sure that we get the replays up.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this is about the same spot that I tied that one to. So gonna go ahead and just remake it. So you get to, you're gonna see, if you missed something, you get to see it made all over again. So I just need to follow where I went. Okay, so I had this blue here. I'm just mimicking exactly, mirroring exactly what I did. Was this one? This was the top. I need to leave a little bit of gap for the bow. And then I had, there it is. I put the foliage at the bottom so it would, I was still able to see a little bit of the blue coming out. And this little bit of millet, I'm gonna place this on top. I guess if it wouldn't matter if I got it upside down because it's going to be on another side of the door, so it wouldn't show, but it doesn't, I want it to be the same. So if it turns out not the same, oh well. Okay, so now I'm taking my same velvet ribbon. This is about a yard and a half. I'm going to mark it for the center. I kind of pinched it. Now I'm placing it down, upside down into the Bowdabra. So go ahead and make my tails and my loop. And I just kind of want to make sure my loops are about the same. Again, this is picks. There's no floral. It's a one bush and a bunch of picks from the fall selection that's 50% off at Hobby Lobby right now. Okay, so same thing, marking my center, two bowing it. Just want to make sure that my loops are the same. And I'm kind of moving my tails to the opposite sides. I'm going to go ahead and scrunch it. Uh, that holds it down so I can kind of see if I have everything where I want to put it. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the last loops. I'm folding it in half, placing this upside down. You could do a twist and fold bow too, but I'm using less ribbon like this. I'm going to make my shoe bow and make my loops go to the opposite directions. And last is I've got a little over half a yard and I'm just going to make the button loop. So I ended right here. I'm going to start on this side with my loop, just a little half inch, a 1 inch overhang, no tail. And this is my tail here. So I'm taking, I only did a one tail, almost awareness ribbon style. So I've got that hanging down towards the bottom. And now I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire and take my loose ends, pull them through the looped end. Tight while it's still in the Bowdabra, then I can remove it. And you could do this separate. You can make the little swags and then add the bow on like we did the pumpkin we made. Flip it over and keep pulling, get that slack out. And we're making two beautiful pieces without using a drop of hot glue because we're just getting the wire tight. I'll show you a little trick. If for some reason it wants to flop and not hang straight, you can go back and you can tie some Bowdabra bow wire in it, or you can kind of move a piece of your ribbon through the foliage. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. 1 second. I just want to make sure everything hangs straight before I pick it up because it wouldn't look good. We make all this beautiful stuff and it falls. So 1 second, let me get it all organized. So what we have here now is a interior and exterior door swag and they're matching. So it's, you just slide this over your door and shut the door and you have a door swag on both sides of your door.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah, and you have an instant hanger. You don't have to worry about your command strip falling off because this ribbon's going to hold it. That's what we have. And Sandy's going to take it from here. And I thank you
Thank you,
all for
Joette.
watching. And we'll see you in the next week and the next week. Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Joette. Okay, thank you for all your kind comments. I'm so excited about my trip. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going with my mom and my brother, so it should be a great trip. And so I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire. Let's go ahead over here to the overhead camera, and we're going to make a bow using your scraps of ribbon. So this is a great little fall bow. I'm just going to fold my wire in half, lay it, tuck it underneath my Bowdabra, and take my fall ribbon scraps and lay these down in here. And I'm just kind of shaping them as I go. And what I do here too is I find that it shapes better if I do like a little mountain in the middle. So there's like two valleys on either side, and it lets the ribbon shape a little bit better, I think. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Sometimes I do it without mentioning it to you guys. Hi, Kimberly. And lay this down in here. Now I have some of my 1.5 inch ribbon. And again, I'm just doing my little mountain in the middle, which we use a lot for hair bows, so that you don't have to sew. And it just, like I said, it lets it shape a little bit better. And lay this down in here. And then I'm going to take my fall pick and just kind of lay the pick down in here, the pumpkin pick, and give everything a good scrunch. And take my Bowdabra bow wire, pull it through my slip knot, pull it tight while it's still in my Bowdabra. And this could also be a gift wrap bow, or it also works for um, a present, a gift wrap, or it also would work really well as a swag, or like for a small lantern. This would be a really pretty swag. Here, let me lay it like that. So I'll put this aside. And now I'm just going to shape everything. Oh, I need to tie a knot. I didn't tie a knot yet. Um, or did I? I don't even remember. Doesn't hurt to do an extra one. And sort of fluff everything out here. Wasn't that a cool idea of Joette's to put to do an indoor, outdoor, or two-sided lanterns, I mean, door swag? I thought that was so cool. So then we have this really cute little, super, super simple to make bow that's made just from scraps. So let's see, we have time. I'm going to make one more bow. We'll do a mini lantern swag. So I'm going to take some of my Bowdabra bow wire, and I need to cut a piece long enough, not like I did for the wreath earlier, where it wasn't long enough to go around the wreath. So lay this down, it's folded in half, and tuck the end underneath. Then I'm going to take my tails, lay these down in here, and lay this here, and take my fall ribbon and just do little loops. So I'm just folding and twisting. And we're just folding. Oops, let's go to the overhead camera. Just fold and twist. And thank you, everybody, for your kind comments. I know it's going to be beautiful weather now at this time of year because it's spring down in Australia and it's fall here in the US. So we're just going to fold and twist and just fold and twist, fold and twist. And this last one, I'm not going to twist. I'm just going to lay this down in here and take my pick, lay that down in the center, give everything a good scrunch. And so definitely if you're watching the replay, let us know. and pull it tight while it's still in the Bowdabra. I'll separate my ends, bring it around to the back, and tie a knot, and tie another knot, and shape out my bow, and just bring it around here and shape. Now these are nice wired fall ribbons. And I'll just take my bow and we'll just tie this onto my lantern, and I'm just going to tie it there. And you can see how pretty and super, super simple that was to make. So I can't believe our half hour is already up. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. And next week, make sure to tune in. Joette will be doing the live um, the next couple weeks. So thanks everybody so much for watching. And we will see you when I get back from Australia. And hopefully I'll have some really fun stories to tell you. So, okay, bye.